Nowadays, according to the World Health Organization, there are about 2.1 billion people in the world who still do not have access to clean water. If people don't have access to improved sanitation facilities, they would be unhealthy or sick, since contaminated water contains a lot of disease or virus which might lead to death. The Cambodian delegation strongly believes that the international community needs to work together to help to protect the Mekong River from being contaminated by people and prevent human rights from being violated, since those two problems are keeping Cambodians from living a long and healthy life. Therefore, the crops and all streams that are carved from Mekong River would be unhealthy as well, and if people eat those things, they would also be sick or unhealthy definitely. For these reasons, the delegation of Cambodia strongly believes that the UN have to help Cambodia protect Mekong River from being contaminated or polluted by other countries in order to protect Cambodia from living in unhealthy life.
If the UN wants to meet the goal of protecting human rights in Cambodia, better sanitation and hygiene will reduce the infant mortality rate and increase the educational opportunity for children in Cambodia in the future. In conclusion, the delegation of Cambodia believes that the UN should concentrate on the issue of having access to sanitation if they are really serious about protecting human rights.
The delegation of China strongly believes that UN and international community should support the development of infrastructure which will help China to reduce its decontamination of water and thus improve health, education, and economic growth.
At the present, 17% of population in China do not access to clean water. 17% of population is 210 million people, in which so many people in China do not use clean water. Secondly, this delegation believes that educating students in regard to this situation is imperative since they have no knowledge about it. Many students in school in China do not get any hygiene education. Lastly, the delegation of China believes that access to clean water affects economic growth. In China, there are many major industries. The most significant industry is agriculture services, producing wheat and rice. To grow good wheat and rice, farmers need to use clean water to irrigate the crops. In conclusion, the China delegation is convinced that UN and international community should focus on the issues of providing clean water. The people in China are asking financial assistance from developed countries such as the United Kingdom.
Ethiopia is one of the poorest countries in this conference, with a GDP of $1,900 per capita. We strongly believe UN should help us to improve the living condition of people of our country by helping us to improve access to clean water. This will improve school education and health problem in Ethiopia. To begin, Ethiopian people have a low literacy rate, as only 49.1% people are literate, which means less than half of the population is educated. But the education is also so short, with only 8 years spent in school. This is really not what is necessary, and it could be better if the UN could help us to regulate this. Secondly, Ethiopia has one of the lowest income in the world. According to the CAA book, the drought affects to food security and led to high mortality rates. Moreover, 29.6% of people are living below the poverty line. So this is why we really need to help improve the issue of clean water. In conclusion, the Ethiopian delegation really think UN should help us to improve the issue of clean water if they want to protect people and respect the human rights.
India is a developing country that doesn't have enough water sanitation facilities. Due to the lack of sufficient water sanitation facilities, India faces issue of maintaining high standard of health, developing a strong economy, and educating its population. Statistics shows that 27.4%, which is about 513 million of people, don't have access to water sanitation. This means about 530 million people use unsanitized water, which may cause diseases such as cholera, typhoid, and dysentery. According to the World Health Organization, the unsanitized water causes vomiting, skin rashes, and cancer. Delegate of India also believes that the lack of access to water sanitation affects the economy of India. The high quality of product requires clean water and industries. However, if there is no clean water, the people might need to use unsanitized water to grow, which leads to the low quality of products.
The UN should address the problem of access to clean water in India because children sometimes can't go to school or they often need to help get clean water in morning. India has only 12 years for education, which means India has less education than other developed countries like United States, which have 17 years. The children in India sometimes access clean water from river and water trough, so they help their parents instead of going to school.
According to UN General Assembly, Georgian state, all humans have right to water and sanitation, and acknowledge that drinking clean water and sanitation are essential to human rights. Therefore, the delegate of Paraguay firmly believes that UN and other countries should support Paraguay's move to improve access to clean water and sanitation, because this factor impact to improve health service and developing economy. Paraguay's clean water supply penetration is only 54%, and school penetration is under 30%, which is caused by inefficient water management, and above all, it raises diseases like cholera, which comes from microbial pollution, and it is noted the result of drinking contaminated water. For this reason, Paraguay absolutely believes that UN should help us develop sanitation and clean water and a sewer facility.
Secondly, the delegate of Paraguay believes that UN should provide with financial resources to invest in water industry to rise up our economy. Paraguay is one of the poorest countries in the world because the GDP of Paraguay is only $9,400 each per person a year. To conclude, the delegate of Paraguay is convinced that firstly, UN should help us to develop a sanitation of cleaning water and a sewer facility. Secondly, UN should provide us financial resources to invest water problem and raising awareness of importance of water quality by advertising and education campaigns.
Mali has one of the lowest rate of access to clean water in this conference. There are many people who live below the poverty line, which leads to health problems, a lack of economic development, and educational opportunities. According to the United Nations, their goals are to help nations work together to improve the lives of poor people, conquer hunger, disease, illiteracy, and encourage respect for each other's rights and freedoms. However, in Mali, many people drink contaminated water because they are collecting pond water, which if contaminated by animal and human waste. In short, poor health and hygiene lead to disease.
In addition, the delegation of Mali believes that our serious water problem strongly impacts the economy of our country. Low GDP leads the population to arrive below the poverty line. Moreover, 65% of land is desert, particularly in the north. This causes people in the north to have lack of access to clean water because the government does not have adequate money to build water infrastructure. The solution in Mali would be creation of water infrastructure such as dams, reservoirs and filtration systems for our industry. Also, we could construct good water sanitation to improve our health and education services by working with UN to respect human rights, to have an adequate standard of living and education.
If people do not have access to clean water, education and economic development will be difficult. The UK delegation strongly believes that the United Nations and the developed countries should address the problem of access to clean water. First of all, having less access toward clean water in the developing countries leads to the illness of people living in the countries. In human rights, the article number 25, it clearly says that everyone has the right to an adequate standard of living for themselves and their family. This includes access to food, clothing, housing, and medical care also.
Secondly, many children who don't have sanitation services, they can't take education because when they want to use water, children and women must walk long distances to get some water from river and pond. So children can't make time to go to school, even though the water is not even clean. Finally, the water is one of the most important resources for humans. Water is used as bathing, cooking, drinking, and etc. As the people in the developing countries don't have access to clean water, the people in those countries will suffer, and resulting for them to drink contaminated water. And that is why the delegation of UK thinks that UN should address the problem of access to clean water.